You will hear 5 short extracts in which people are talking about a radio station. For questions 19 to 23, choose from the list A to H what each person says about it. Use the letters only once. There are 3 extra letters which you do not need to use. You now have 30 seconds to look at part 3. Speaker 1.
The station I listen to has the right balance of talk, sport and news and a great mixture of presenters, but there are far too many advertisements. In the mornings, I usually listen to a short news programme and then a show about sports going on both locally and nationally, which is presented by a well-known ex-sports star. The thing I like about the station is that it has stuff for all age groups. There are a lot of good comedy shows and quizzes, but also stories about people and places in the area, and it makes itself accessible to even the youngest members of the community.
Speaker 2.
It's a locally operated radio station, and it broadcasts some of the top nationally rated talk radio programmes. There are live shows 24 hours a day, and you can listen online if you prefer. I've enjoyed listening to it for many years now. I especially like one very amusing comedy programme which is on every weekday night, and the Science Fantastic programme on Saturday evenings. I prefer this station to some of the national ones, and I like the local news stories, although sometimes I'd rather it took more notice of news and other subjects from overseas, rather than just the local area or the country as a whole.
Speaker 3.
I tend to listen to the radio a lot and I love the arts show. That's the selling point for this station for me. The presenter is very serious about the arts and his in-depth approach helps me keep up to date with all the latest theatre, books and movies. Oh, and they don't broadcast advertisements, so you never get interruptions when you're enjoying a show. I've given up flipping through channels to avoid them now. Another thing is they don't have news every hour like so many stations. There are some really good quality radio dramas. It's an excellent way for young writers to get their work broadcast.
Speaker 4.
Talk radio has grown in popularity in my area, and there's a huge demand for more and more talk show stars. My favourite station has a show called Viewpoint. It's presented by a very entertaining guy, and sure, there'll be those out there who may not agree with his opinions, but that doesn't matter, because he makes fun of everything. So even if you don't agree with him, you can sit back and enjoy the humour in his approach to local or national news events. I find I'm still one of the few younger listeners to this station, though. Most of my school friends don't really go for it.
Speaker 5.
I even got a chance to go on this radio station myself. It was kind of embarrassing, but quite fun because not everyone gets to go on a radio show and meet the presenters. All the shows are really interesting. They also play a lot of fun games and talk about popular issues. The station's known for sponsoring charity organisations in this region, so it's offering more than just entertainment. There's one programme where they're training young newsreaders, so they picked out about 30 kids from nearby towns and are training them to be newsreaders, and they get to do one short show each.
Now play the recording again. That is the end of part 3. Now turn to part 4.